Hi, this is Kohld from Wintertide, and I'm here on Metal Under.
We appreciate this exclusive interview with Wintertide, whose members come from Norway and Serbia. This project is considered a cinematic metal project, and from my point of view, of course, sounds a little bit avant-garde music. And by the way, excellently produced in every detail. So, let's begin with a little bit of history. Tell us how this project came about and didn't.
So a bit of history. So Wintertide was made in 2014 by myself in Tromsø, Norway, which is up in the Arctic Circle. Basically, there was this song I'd written that didn't really fit with any bands I'd had at the time, but I recorded it and basically decided to make a band based around this one song. And ultimately, this band ended up being the one that I wanted to dedicate most of my time to. So, yeah, that's basically how it started. All of the songs are conceptually based on the ocean and space. Basically, I worked for NASA for a while, which is a fantastic job. And basically just learned all these things about the universe and the galaxies, all these exoplanets. And a rough idea of the inspiration for every Wintertide song is basically imagine a vast ocean constantly in storm, but that ocean's on a different planet, and that's basically my idea behind it.
Our audience would like to know you a little bit better. Could you tell us about your personal music influences, favorite bands or musicians that might have inspired you to become what you are today?
As for my own personal musical influences and all that, while it might not be particularly apparent based on the sound, my strongest influences are Alcest and Harakiri for the Sky. I'm very into black gaze music and all that, and that's been my driving factor in pretty much everything. And while that sound doesn't necessarily ring true in Wintertide's music, that is the persistent inspiration. There's also quite a bit I draw from Bach. I really enjoy Baroque music, and that kind of influences the orchestral side of that.
There's no doubt that it's not an easy task to create songs when all members come from different countries. How is the composition process in Wintertide?
So yeah, Wintertide is technically based in a couple different countries. There's myself being the instrumentalist. I write and record all of the music. And then our singer, Dragica, is based in Serbia, which is very far away. And I've actually never met her in person. She's just someone who I was put in contact with, and it ended up being phenomenal. The process when it comes to writing a song in Wintertide is basically I'll get an idea and I'll sit down at my computer and I'll map it out. I generally start with the orchestras. I'll write all of the strings, and then I'll start kind of going from the ground up with cinematics, drums, bass, and then guitars. And then when I've got this rough song, basically, that's not particularly mixed, but it's structurally complete from beginning to end, I'll send that to Dragica and give her some frustratingly vague prompt, like imagine an ocean or imagine drowning or something like that, and some timestamps like this is the verse, this is the chorus, and in a couple days she'll just send me back some audio files, and they're phenomenal. I mean, she's a fantastic singer, and I'm incredibly lucky to be working with her. I've worked with a lot of people over the years, and she's absolutely in the top 3 for the most talented and easiest to work with people. And she always sends it to me with this note saying, let me know what you want changed. Does this work? Is this okay? Do you like this? And in all honesty, I've never sent anything back. I've always been content with everything she sent. So yeah, that's basically how it goes, and then I'll just mix it further, master it, and that's how it goes.
Tell us about your gigs and performances and how your music was received by the audience.
So the performance history for Wintertide is honestly quite brief. There's not much to it. up until a couple months ago, I was the only member of Wintertide, and obviously it's a little bit difficult to pull off a full show as just myself and the laptop. But one day, I did get an email from a venue in Seattle in the United States that wanted us to play a show, and I was a bit nervous about this because obviously I was going to have to piece together a full band for this to be able to pull it off. And ultimately, what I ended up doing was just hiring my friend Connor to just play guitar with me. So we both played guitar and I sang, and then the drums and the bass and the strings were all run off my laptop, and we did the show that way. Now, this show was opening for Dark Tranquillity, which is a phenomenal band who everybody should know, I'd hope. But we were opening for them, so obviously within this type of metal community, there is a lot of elitists and stuff like that that weren't particularly keen on the fact that we didn't have a live drummer, which is fair. I mean, obviously bands should have a drummer if they can, but it wasn't possible for us because in the studio, that's me, but I can only do so much at once. So we did get some comments about not having a drummer, but we did get quite a few positive feedback from a lot of the people. We got a compliment from Dark Tranquillity themselves, actually, which was really nice. We did a cover of The Dragonborn Comes from Skyrim, because this was at a time back when Skyrim was a little bit more relevant. And yeah, they said that they really liked it and we should do more like that, so that was cool. But no, we sold a lot of CDs, we sold some other merch as well, so obviously a lot of people also didn't hate us, so that was phenomenal, and we'd like to do more in the future.
Could you shed a little light for us as for your future plans, especially about any new production, new tracks?
As for the future plans for Wintertide, we have a new album coming out this summer, which is going to be on Morning Light Records. We're excited for that. That's going to be the first album featuring Dragica, so it's going to be the first album that I'm not singing, and it's also going to be the first album that has this new, more orchestral and kind of epic genre to it, whereas before it was a lot more atmospheric than it is now.
Do you have plans of promotional tour?
We're hoping to do a UK tour to promote the album when that comes out, which I'm piecing together at the moment, but there's not too much I can say about that right now since nothing's confirmed. But it's something that we're hoping to do when the album comes out.
And do you have some final words for the audience?
Final words for the audience. I don't know, if you like what you've heard of Wintertide, feel free to check us out. If you don't like what you've heard of Wintertide, maybe also check us out. I mean, there's something there for everybody, hopefully. But yeah, check us out online, Wintertide on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, all that fun stuff. If you're in the UK, come to our tour if and when that happens. And if you're in a different place and you'd like to see us tour there, we would love to play where you are, be that, the US, Brazil, Mexico, whatever. We love to do stuff. So, yeah, we'd love to come see you. So if you want us to play where you are, get in touch with your local venues, your local promoters, write them an email, call them, whatever, and just say, hey, there's this band, Wintertide, we'd like to see them. And if there's enough people saying that, they'll get in touch with us and book us so we can play for you. So yeah, thank you for everything, and thank you to Metal Wonder for having us, and have a good night.
And now we are going to listen to the song 45, 2018 production.